What's going on, Birmingham First Church of the Nazarene? It is Pastor Samuel coming to you live from the church parking lot on a beautiful Alabama summer day. Hope you're doing okay today. Thought it would be really appropriate for us to have class outside because it is just too nice to stay indoors. Hope you're doing okay today. If this is your first time meeting with us, welcome to this channel, but also welcome to this church. We are a Christian church, a holiness church, and a missional church, which means we preach Jesus, we want you saved, we want you sanctified, and we want you sent out into this world. If that sounds anything like you'd be interested in, please join us any Sunday or Wednesday night. All that to say this, welcome. It is week 5 of our series on the Lion's Gospel, the power of Christ seen through the Gospel of Mark. And to help us out today, I want to say this: Christ is powerful. We've been talking about an unstoppable servant, an unrelenting Savior that we've already found in Mark's Gospel, and the story continues. Last week we talked about how Christ can save us from scary things like storms. Today we're going to be talking about Christ's power is more powerful than all the other little powers that try to vie for our attention, our time, and just little parts of our soul. To help us out here, I'm going to be in Mark chapter 5, and we're going to read a story about a man that they meet. So it's going to be Mark chapter 5, and I'm going to start in verse 1. All right? So hear the word of the Lord right now. I'm going to read verses 1 through 9. They, Jesus and his disciples, went across the lake to the region of the Gerasenes. And when Jesus got out of the boat, a man with an evil spirit came from the tombs to meet him. This man lived in the tombs, and no one could bind him anymore, not even with a chain. So, for he had been offered chains, or he had been chained hand and foot, but he would tear those chains apart and break the irons on his feet. No one was strong enough to contain him, and night and day among the tombs and the hills he would cry out and cut himself with stones. When he saw Jesus from a distance, he ran and he fell on his knees in front of him, and he shouted at the top of his voice, "What do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? Swear to God that you will not torture me." And for Jesus had said to him, "Come out of this man, you evil spirit." And then Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" "My name is Legion," he replied, "for we are many." And he begged Jesus again and again not to send them out of the area. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So I'm going to set the scene for you. We have Jesus and his disciples, and then a man that has been totally overtaken, totally overran by several different types of demons. And he is at a very interesting spot. He's at the vicinity of the Gerasenes, which is a hard to reach area if you are in the ancient Near Eastern world and you're Jewish. And not only is he at that region, but he is at a hard to reach spot of that region. He's at the grave sides. He's in the tombs. He's next to a herd of pigs, an unclean animal, and he's next to the tombs, the things that bring out death. He's at a hard to reach spot. When I was a kid, I broke this left arm, I think it's the radius right here. It broke after I was coming down a hill at a campground, and I fell off a bicycle, and I was trying to catch myself on that bike, and it snapped, and I had to have a cast on this arm for several weeks. And as the cast was trying to heal my arm, and it was trying to get all the bones to set in exactly how they need to be, I was unable to give this arm a scratch. As the body's replenishing itself, dead skin cells usually fall off skin, and I could feel the itch, the irritability of right here. It was a hard to reach spot. Sometimes I'd take a pen or a pencil and I would just try to scratch or irritate that area to try to get some kind of soothing going on right there. It was a hard to reach place, all right? And I can remember the time the pediatric or orthopedic surgeon, whoever it is, the guy that cuts off the cast, the relief it was, and all of the erasers and pencils that had kind of lost their way trying to give my arm a good scratch. The hard to reach places. There are so many times too, I think the soul has what I call these hard to reach places. Things that you might be struggling with right now that you just kind of cast over. Things that you don't want to deal with, the things that complicate and make life unfun or uninteresting, we always want to kind of cast over. It's the exact place where I always think this man is living. This person is dealing with all different types of problems. He says his name's Legion because there's many spirits among him, right? And I can't help but wonder, the Bible doesn't say, but how did he get there? What did those impure spirits have to offer him that he thought he needed so bad that not only did he have 1 or 10, but he had a legion of them, an entire army that was just kind of stuck within inside him? You know, sometimes the appeal that these demons seem to have in the New Testament is that they would offer a solution to one of life's problems. And there are some problems that can be solved within a minute, and some take a whole hour. Some might take a whole day or a whole week or a whole month. Some might take a year, a decade, and maybe one might take an entire lifetime. And in our attempts to solve those problems, sometimes I think we need one solution for this problem, another solution for this problem. But what we end up running into is that the solution that we have can only fix one little area, and it creates problems all over the rest of our life. So we need other things to take care of the problems that one solution created. Am I confusing you? Probably am. But that's kind of how we have treated life, is that we have one solution for one problem, but those problems seem to manifest other places. And it just feels like we're chasing symptom after symptom after symptom and keep getting a solution that has 10 more problems attached to it. Christ alone is the solution. He is there for the minute, the hour, the daily, the weekly, the monthly, the yearly, the decadely, and the lifetime problem. Christ alone is the solution. And so what happens here is, as the power of Christ is being met with all of these dark energies that have been made manifest in the life of this man, they know exactly who he is. They call him Jesus, the Son of the Most High God, and they beg with him, please do not torture us. These group of enemies against Jesus, the ones that have been tormenting and torturing this guy probably for years at this point, are begging with the Lord not that they might be tortured. What happens is this group of demons get sent into a pig herd, and that pig herd, all one by one, jump straight into the lake. What we're talking about today is power. Are there areas in your life where you seem like there are problems that you're trying to come up with the solutions on your own? You're not asking for God's input, but you're just trying to say, what does Sam think best? Okay? What this text does, Mark chapter 5, is it offers us an invitation into a power unlike anything that this world has to offer. And so the way that we do this is we say, Christ, I'm done with trying to solve out all these problems on my own. I'm tired of giving all of these different solutions my attention, or subscribing to whatever philosophy or whatever political leaning will make me feel the most safe. Instead, I'm going to trust you completely, right? Christ's power is strong enough for each one of your problems. There's not a problem too small or too big that he is not afraid to face. Christ is powerful. I look forward to talking with you more. This is Pastor Sam. Stay holy, keep the faith, and follow for more.